I was just shocked at this scandal, and this area used to be a big red light district.
There's so much to do in America's finest city. Hi, I'm Mark Magstadt, local real estate expert, and today we're going to take a tour of one of my favorite spots in downtown San Diego. Bianca, how are you?
I'm good. So
It's
good
awesome to see you. Great to see you as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, look where we are. Downtown San Diego, the Gaslamp, February.
I know, it's so
Nice.
beautiful here. I'm so happy you came down. I'm really excited to share with you a little bit about the Gaslamp Quarter. I know you and my husband have had your fair share of fun here, and I want to show you a little bit more about the Gaslamp Quarter, specifically the history and some hidden spots. So why don't we get to it?
I like it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about how long you've been doing this and why you decided to do like a downtown tour.
I've been coming to the Gaslamp Quarter since I was 16 years old, and I
Okay.
loved the just entertainment, the dining, the glitz factor about it since back then. And after I turned 21 and started coming out, I actually took my first tour here, and I could not believe the history of the area that I had never heard about until I took my first tour. And I was
Awesome.
wondering how many locals don't know our city's history. So I was inspired to do a little bit more research about the history, and I was just shocked at this scandal. And this area used to be a big red light district. And you know, with that, I decided to come up with a fun tour that would allow people to taste some of the flavors of the Gaslamp Quarter and learn the history.
Yeah, because normally we come down here, you're like, all right, let's go downtown. You go to like one bar and then you go home and you're like, oh, what do we do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you don't really like look at the buildings or really appreciate it.
No.
But I do want to show you something, so
Okay.
this is our first stop.
All right, cool. Let's check it out.
All right. So the Gaslamp Quarter, it's about 16 and a half blocks of registered historic district. And one way you know that you're in the Gaslamp Quarter is when you're walking on brick. And it's normally just regular red brick, but you'll see we're here in between 4th and 5th on Island, that the brick is different colors. Well, this actually is supposed to signify the Chinese district of early San Diego.
Oh,
There are
really?
so many Chinese coming in at that time to help with, you know, the construction infrastructure of San Diego, that they had no choice but to live in one specific area, and
Okay.
this area was known as the Stingray district.
Oh, really? Stingray?
Yeah, you remember
Yeah,
that?
The Stingray, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the nightclub.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about it too.
No, the nightclub was actually named after this district,
Okay.
and the Stingray was a restricted area where women were not allowed to walk the streets, children were certainly not allowed in this
Oh, wow.
area, and it was pretty much a lawless area for the early red light district and port days.
Wow. What years are we talking?
So the port was built in 1869.
Okay.
And it really didn't clean up, like really clean up till 1930s. I'd even say like
Maybe in the 40s.
1970s.
Oh, wow, wow.
Was
Okay.
really when it started to clean up for good.
Wow.
But one thing that I do like about just this part of the Gaslamp Quarter is instead of the gas lamps that we all know of, you actually have Chinese-inspired
Oh, wow.
street lamps here.
Okay. I never noticed that. I'm
course
glad you
not.
pointed that out. So when I come down with my mom and dad and stuff, I can point cool stuff
Yeah,
out
you
versus
can
like, oh, I was
tell
at that bar, I was at that.
Yeah, you could tell them some interesting stories, right?
Totally cool.
So the Gaslamp Quarter has about 94 registered historic buildings.
94?
Yeah,
Wow.
and this one I think is one of the most impressive ones. This is the HORTON Grand Hotel, and isn't it awesome? It is a beautiful Victorian style building. One thing that's interesting is this building was originally built about 5 blocks north where HORTON Plaza is today.
They moved it or what?
Yeah, so they sawed it up into 10,000 pieces when it was kind of decrepit and no one wanted to do anything with it, and they were going to build the mall. And they put it into storage, and a real estate investor found out about this, and
So
he
cool.
bought it for $1 and promised that he'd put it back in the Gaslamp
No
quarter.
way. So Bianca, there's so much history that I literally had no idea about down here.
I know, so many people don't. I was talking to you about Ida Bailey, who was a madam at one of the more popular brothels of the time.
Okay.
She ran the Canary Cottage, which was a little cottage behind one of these historic buildings. And
So crazy.
her Canary Cottage is actually right over here.
No way.
So her clients would ring a bell, and she would meet them right here, where there was also a gate, make sure they were sober, good to go, they had money,
Okay.
and then she'd bring them back to her Canary Cottage, and that's where they'd
So
meet the
crazy.
girls.
And was that in like the late 1800s as well, or?
Yeah, 1880s, 1890s.
Wow, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Cool. Is it, so the codes still work?
You wouldn't want to know, huh?
No.
Well, obviously, history is a big thing, but the food and drink in the Gaslamp Quarter is also a major part. I do want to take you to one of the restaurants that we go to. That's an iconic restaurant here in the Gaslamp Quarter.
Cool. Let's go.
All right, cool. So the last stop on your tour, Mark, is the Field.
Awesome.
This is,
I love the spot.
Isn't it awesome? This is one of our spots on the Brothels Bites and Booze tour.
Okay.
It's an iconic spot in the Gaslamp Quarter. It's been here for over 20 years. Everything within this pub has actually been brought from a different pub in Ireland. So
No
this
way,
is the
really?
most authentic Irish pub experience you'll get in San Diego.
Nice.
And like I said, it's been here for over 20 years. So it's definitely a staple when you
Nice.
come to the
I've
area.
definitely had a few pints in here. All this walking and talking and history, which has been so great, has made me thirsty. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, go. Hey, thanks so much. Really had a good time. I can't believe how much history's down here. I really learned a lot. You know,
Good.
when you think about tours, I would have never envisioned that downtown San Diego had so much history, so
I
I
know.
really appreciate it. Look at this awesome food, and
Yeah, well, if you ever want to come on a tour, So Diego Tours.
cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, that's all for me now. Let me know what other areas of San Diego you'd like me to tour. I'd be happy to do that. Leave that in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.